Hello everybody, I'm Square-Eyed Jack, and it's finally time to check out Spyro the Dragon. You all know what this is, so do I really need to say it was a platformer developed by Insomniac Games that was created after the success of the Crash Bandicoot series, with the first game being released in 1998, where it also shared demos with Crash 3 Warped? Probably not. Now before I get stuck into it, I'd just like to say that I didn't have this game growing up. I played it with my cousins a few times and I have a few images burned into my mind, but that's about it. The first time I actually sat down and played this was in 2014, so this is going to be a completely unbiased, un-nostalgia blinded review of the game, and if you have any problems with anything I say about it, shut up! The game starts off with this mentally challenged dragon being interviewed about
Gnasty.
Luckily for my brain cells, this blabbering dickhead gets shunted off so that this cooler dragon can call
Gnasty.
simple, no threat, and ugly. What are you, 10, dude? You're about as intimidating as a professional Call of Duty player.
God, you haven't! Fuck you!
Maybe it's trying to relate to kids, but Jesus, not every kid is an annoying brat. Which reminds me, the protagonist of this fun little adventure, Spyro, is an annoying brat.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Hey, I'm Spyro and my mom thinks I'm cool. His personality throughout the whole game makes me want to encase him in a crystal statue. Do you see how I brought that back? After being called ugly by a bunch of 12s, Gnasty Gnork turns all of the dragons into these crystal statues to be rescued by Spyro. These dragons are the worst. When you rescue them, they feel the need to talk. While some of them give you hints, 80% of them say this.
Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me.
Thank
you for releasing me.
Do these idiots have nothing else to say? They might as well have said, I farted while I was in there. It was pleasant. Unlike the brother series of Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon is a much more open world style, kind of like Super Mario 64. You have a hub world with various portals that lead to different locations. But unlike Mario 64, when you die, you don't have to start the level over again. Thank God. The level design in this game is great, and this is due to the way the PlayStation loads the levels. Most games of the era feature what I refer to as the Silent Hill effect, by fogging out a lot of the environment so that the console won't explode while I'm playing. Spyro is unique as it loads areas and objects in the distance as crappier versions of what's actually there. The closer you get, the better quality it becomes. This allows for large, expansive levels that actually look good in a way that wasn't common at the time. This is the part of the video where an N64 nerd will jump into the comments and say,
but Mario 64 or any other Nintendo 64 titles load the levels entirely without fogging or low-res polygons.
Yeah, but the difference is, I actually want to be in this world, so go away and take your controller with you. What makes these levels even better is the loading screens. You walk in, get a glorious sound of all the treasure you've collected, and then fly into the level. They're quick, and they make you feel like you're actually going somewhere as opposed to jumping through a magical painting. I'm being a real asshole now, I apologise. This is accompanied by an amazing soundtrack performed by Stuart Copeland, who is a music person. Here is just a small sample of his masterpiece. Listen to that. I'm not a muso sort of guy, but the volume of different sounds and various layers make the soundtrack an epic one, and I never get tired of it.
They pay me for this.
But, and I'm not sure if this is an issue with the PAL release or just my copy of the game, but this is what I hear while I'm playing. Or sometimes even this. Now that sucks Dragon Balls. That's not a shot at the game because I know how good the soundtrack is. It's still bullshit though. So I've talked about music, graphics, dumb dragons, and dumb controllers. Spyro controls fine, I guess. Sometimes he can be a bit annoying, but it's not worth complaining about. The player has full control over the camera, which is another cue for me to bitch about this fucking thing. Spyro can jump, glide, plummet to earth like a sack of shit, supercharge, and he can also do this dodge maneuver, which I did on complete accident. So that's useful, if you know it exists. None of the dragons mentioned that. They were too busy telling Spyro, "Hey dude, thanks for releasing me, but because I'm out of time, I can't tell you how to play the game."
It's all about the game and how you play it.
One of the other things that makes Spyro stand out to the other platformers of the time is that the enemies are programmed to engage with Spyro instead of the usual, "my only purpose in this world is to pace back and forth all day and wait to be killed." And this is great. It really makes it feel like these guys want Spyro's head served up with a side of potatoes. And that is even better. Have you ever had an enemy in a game show you the moon and a black hole? Because I have, but I'm just curious. The way you kill these guys is also cool. The bigger enemies need to be flamed, while others wear flame-proof armor. It's subtly hinted at before you rescue a dragon that flat out explains it.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Well, they're invincible, so why the hell would I try to attack them? Oh, okay. You get kissed by fairies. So they're not invincible. You know what? Next time, just say thanks for releasing me. Please. Thanks for trying to be different, but it turns out you're a dumbass. Realistic enemies is great and all, if you can call green Gnorcs realistic, but what is the gameplay like? Like I said earlier, it's a refined version of Mario 64, in my opinion. Your main collectible is the Crystal Dragons, but there are also gems scattered all over the place for you to collect. And then we have these absolute bona fide cocksucking motherfuckers that have stolen dragon eggs along with jet engines that they have gracefully inserted into their assholes to prevent Spyro from catching them. I hate these guys. I was saying before about my few memories of this game. Well, this here is fucking one of them. Aside from that, we also get Spyro figurines that give you lives, which are worthless, as well as these orbs that you get from enemies that have already dropped gems, and they are collected to give you even more lives, which are worthless. Figure that out. But don't worry, if you don't like getting your paws dirty, you're in luck, because Sparks the Dragonfly has got your back. Not only does he pick up items anywhere in the close vicinity of Spyro, he also acts as a health bar. Genius. That is the extent of the gameplay. Each level is just that, over and over again. Each hub area has a flight level which sees Spyro collecting 8 each of 4 items before the timer runs out. These help to break up the gameplay a bit, but the overall experience is quite repetitive. There is too much of the same, and it would be great if there was something else to combat the monotony. Each hub area also has a boss.
The artisan's boss is through a portal behind me. You can challenge him now, if you feel you are ready.
I mean, I'm trying, man, I just can't get it. Now, I always hear people complain about the bosses in the Crash games. They're too easy or whatever. The bosses in this game are some of the most pitiful I've ever seen. All you do is chase them, flame them, and that's it. There is nothing to it. No challenge, nothing. And that's sad. It's about as sad as the fact that all of these characters look cool, but that's all they have going for them. We don't get cutscenes or any sort of character development before we walk in and blaze them. And that sucks. Some in-depth and creative boss fights would have helped to break up the tediousness of stomping around each level. There are a few different challenges added in as we go through, the already mentioned Supercharge and Fairy Kisses, but in the end, it's all the same, over and over again. It isn't all that hard either. All of the levels can be fully completed first time in, so it's not a hard game to get the 100%. Compared again to Mario 64, which takes a while to collect everything, it would be nice if you had to return later to collect certain items. Now that I think about it, the only boss you're actually required to fight is Gnasty Gnorc, unless you want the 100%. Let's talk about this boss, or why bother? It's the same as the rest, chase him, blaze him, thanks for coming. If you make the leap to full completion, you get a new level of Gnasty Galoot? You just run around and collect gems, but it's so satisfying. And look, there is even a treasure room, because every game ever should have a treasure room. And it's skadoosh! Awesome! So, what do I think of this game? It's okay. It's definitely not a bad game. It's just the 2 times I've played through it, I've been left feeling bored and unsatisfied, unfortunately like Mario 64. The game looks and sounds beautiful when the music fucking works, and the levels are good. The game lacks with keeping the gameplay interesting, as well as handing me some of the suckiest bosses in gaming history. Spyro the Dragon gets 6 out of 10. The game was good enough to get a sequel, so be sure to come back next time when I take a look at Spyro 2. Fuck! I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm Square-Eyed Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.